want to build Skirk or get ready for her release, I got. This is how I would build Skirk before she releases in Genshin 5.7. It's simple really, and we will start off pretty light. Skirk will wield a sword, and sword users are typically pretty lucky. Why is that? Because she has a large pool of weapons to pick from, and that are going to be pretty good for her. Let's start with the 5-star weapons. You can run her best in slot, obviously, which is going to be a signature weapon that you can summon for when she releases. That is the best case scenario, but let's say you do not have her weapon. Use any crit rate or crit damage 5-star at your disposal and you should be pretty good. So weapons like Haran, Mist Splitter, or J Cutter are instantly on the table, especially because their passives can work pretty well with Skirk. An honorable mention is the Urakumi Sigiri, which is not really great for her, but it is a 5-star nonetheless. Or even Clorin's 5-star weapon, I forgot the name of that one, would be pretty okay as well, just for the stat stick pretty much. For the 4 stars, we've definitely got options thanks to the event weapons as well. So weapons from the battle pass are going to be not that effective, but still will be pretty good because they have crit rate and crit damage on them. And the Black Cliff weapons are going to be pretty okay as well, and they're pretty much mostly stat sticks because I'm sure a DPS like Skirk is already going to have a lot of damage bonuses from her own kit. But if you want some pretty cool weapons that you might have some 4 stars, some event weapons like the Calamity of Ishu, which is going to be actually a pretty good weapon, especially if you have it at R5 and you grind the event, or even the Finale of the Deep, which is easily refinable. That is a weapon that you can craft from Fontaine and you can get that R5 pretty easily. I genuinely recommend this one, but let's say you're out of all of the options that I mentioned. No worries, pull out the Harbinger of Dawn at R5 and just run that. So now let's go on to the artifact portion. This is probably the portion that most of you guys are interested in. The artifacts are easy to pull off, and Skirk is going to be a main damage dealer, so she probably has an Ascension built with crit rate or crit damage. Now Skirk will use the Finale of the Deep Galleries, that is the artifact set that grants you bonus cryo damage as well as a hefty amount of damage increase to her burst and normal attacks. This will definitely be worth grinding for her. But let's say you want another artifact set, don't worry, use the Mare Shosei set. This will give you a hefty crit rate increase and some base normal attack and charge attack damage, which is generally things that you will use while you're playing with Skirk. Now, as for the stats, you want your sands to be attack percentage, your goblet at attack percentage or cryo damage bonus, and then your circlet at crit rate or crit damage depending on the stats that you have. So if your weapon has crit rate, stick with a crit damage circlet or vice versa, obviously. Now, for your substats, you're going to need crit rate and crit damage, which is going to be the best in slot for these substats. And then attack percentage, you definitely want some more attack, and then perhaps some energy recharge if Skirk is going to depend on her burst. And if that's the case, you're going to need some energy recharge so you can burst more often. As for the talents, we don't really know what exactly she's going to be doing, so let's leave that for another time. And that was Skirk's build. Now let's build some teams, or at least I'll give you a general idea of what you might play as as having Skirk on your team. Now, Skirk is generally going to be slotted in a cryo hydro team. So if you have freeze teams, it is actually perfect. So you're probably going to have teams that use any type of freeze or cryo hydro swirls, or maybe even crystallization, but generally you have a hydro cryo character on your team, and you're going to definitely do a lot of freezing because that is going to be her main teams. Doesn't mean that you can't use melt teams. You probably can. It's probably going to be pretty good. I'm not going to stop you from doing any of that, obviously. And you probably can do that and you would get some pretty good results. But I definitely think that freeze teams are going to be really good, especially if you have a Sophia. Sophia changed everything because of her passive. And if you have an entire team of freeze characters or, cryo hydro characters, you are going to get a 55% reduction in resistance, which is massive. Definitely is going to be worth it. So if you have a Scofier, a freeze team with Skirk will probably be the best team for her, alongside someone like Shunhe and Furina. and suddenly your damage is significantly increased by much, like so much. It's a little ridiculous. As she comes out, I'll share my favorite teams to run with her. So make sure to stick around, hit the subscribe button, comment on this video so you guys can return. And yeah, that's mostly it. 3 teams with Fiorina going to be the staple, the absolute staple. Of course, you can run animal characters, do some swirl, something like Kazuha would definitely still be good, but I do recommend having a full Ryo Hydro team, especially if you have a scope here. Will do so much for you, give you much more value. And a Scofier is a character that you can get still. You still have a little bit of time. Actually, by the time I release this video, you might not be able to get a Scofier. Kinich and Raiden Shogun, I think, will be on the banners, which is quite unfortunate. But if you have Scofier, you're really, really lucky because you're going to get the absolute most value from your Skirk. Skirk is generally going to be a very easy character to use. DPS characters are usually like that, but if she's some sort of support or whatever, which I doubt because of her artifact set, I don't know. I think she's going to be a DPS character, which means she'll be easy to build, easy to support, have on different teams. So yes, that's going to be pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next video pretty soon.